right, perfect. Should say that we're live on YouTube as well. Yo, YouTube takes mad long to like buffer and everything. All right, perfect. There we go. Yo. Yo, if you guys can hear me, just press 1 in the chat. All right. If you guys can hear me, press 1 in the chat, please. Press 1 in the chat. All right, cool. There we go. I'm going to give it about probably 5 minutes before we get started. Anthony, what up, bro? My guy, Grizzank, what's good? All right, there we go. There's the ones coming in. Yo, we got a special show for you guys today. But first of all, I just want to say thank you guys. I'm almost at 25K subs. I appreciate you guys. If you're watching this and you're not subbed, please hit that subscribe button at the top. Make sure you also hit the like button. All right. So let's see. Somebody say, where are you from? I am from Nigeria, but I live in the US. Yo, a lot of you guys always ask me that question. I don't know why. My guy, Decatur Q with the $2.99. I appreciate that, bro. That's my guy right there. All right, let me let the audience. Oh, they can see you guys. All right, you guys are not muted. All right, I just unmuted you guys' mic. All right, cool. Chat, you guys already know Chris.
Yo.
And then I have the lovely Marcy here with me.
Hi.
Do you guys want to go ahead and just introduce yourself?
You go first.
Okay. I'm Marcy. Hello, everybody. I do TikTok, YouTube, and I pretty much just direct my content at the Black community. That's how I ended up here. I like speaking my opinion. I like speaking my truth, even when it's unpopular. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And then Chris, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I'm Chris. Y'all met me a few times before. I'm an artist. I'm a entrepreneur. You can find me everywhere at Stone Cold Austin, all platforms. And I'm just here because this is an interesting topic. And my boy Chase brought me in.
Plug your YouTube channel, man.
You said what?
Plug your channel. You got a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. So if y'all can type in Stone Cold Austin, ALSTON, all of my stuff should pop up. Or you could just, I'm gonna be in the comment section, so y'all could just click on it from there. But yeah, I do music. I like to think I'm pretty fire. I've been told, so come fuck with me.
Spit a freestyle right now.
Spit a freestyle. Look, that's their go-to. That's the first thing they say. Man, when I'm in Walmart, people be, oh, you a rapper? Rap right now. Like you supposed to do it on demand, right?
All right, cool. Damn, y'all starting already, man. God damn. Yeah, we're gonna get into everything, guys. All right. First of all, I saw your video, Marcy, that I thought was very, very interesting, which is where I posted it, right? Now, when I posted it, I got a lot of different feedback on my channel comments. I'm not sure if you got a chance to take a look at it, but some people were agreeing with you, and then I had other people who really wasn't really feeling that idea of you sort of telling them how to live their lives, essentially, right? So I'm gonna play the clip right here. All right, Chad, this is a 1 minute clip. I'm just gonna play it real quick so we can see what she said. All right.
I'm just gonna say it. I feel like after the Black community does some healing, we should really give polygamy a try. You know, they made things like polygamy really taboo for a reason. Everything they do, every belief they instill in us has a deeper agenda. Think about it. If all the Black men with multiple baby mamas started to form a healthy polygamous relationship, imagine the empires and the communities that would be built within the Black community instead of having baby mama drama and having a bunch of Black people pinned against each other. We have to get the importance of family and building communities back instilled in the Black community. In order to be in a healthy polygamous relationship, you have to look at the bigger picture. You have to be willing to build a village, build a community, build a solidarity of wealth, of a healthy environment for the collective. The Black community does have a big issue with thinking on an individual basis. One of our bigger problems is that all of us don't think on a collective level. You have to have that mindset to step into a polygamous relationship. And I do believe that monogamy for a lot of Black men is unnatural. I'm just offering different solutions because
All right. First of all, Marcy, the chat wants to know: are you single?
Yes.
Okay, cool. One of the main questions that I got to ask you was, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 20.
You're 20. Okay, so all right. When do you turn 21?
October.
In October. All right, cool.
Mhm.
All right, so we're gonna start off here. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you grew up and what kind of household that you grew up in?
I grew up in, I only have one brother. I have a mother and a father. It was just us four in our household. My household was really lenient. They weren't really strict. They always taught us Black history, but they weren't really strict and protective. You know, they supported anything we did. My parents' relationship, they argued a lot due to finances, and my mother was more of like the breadwinner in our family. She is a PhD, so she was heavy on education, go to college, this and that. And my dad, he came from a more he's from the hood, so he was a landscaper and things like that. So I saw how money and the dynamic that my parents had. I watched that a lot, and I don't feel like my parents had a super healthy relationship. I feel like they were just attached to each other, due to finances and due to trying to keep the household working. But yeah, that's how I grew up.
Cool. Were you mainly raised by your mom, or would you say both parents?
I would say I was mainly raised by my dad.
By your dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so how did you get to this point where this is your view of what
That's
kind
the
of
question I had.
and marriage should be? Because
So
you're super young, 20.
yeah.
Have you had enough life experiences to be able to make this kind of choice?
I came to this view based on studying Black history before capitalism and before we were put into the system. Like, I joined a group on Clubhouse, and we talk about a lot of open-minded topics. And I heard a lot of people who are already in the polygamous community talk about their outlook and how I've always felt like I had enough love for multiple people, but I felt like when it came to society, I was put into a box and I was only meant to be married to one man, and that was that. I feel like I observe Black men, and this may be controversial, but I do feel like a lot of Black men struggle with being monogamous. Like, even if they have the prettiest woman or the smartest woman, a woman with a good head on their shoulders, I feel like I watch men try to restrain themselves from getting to know or pursuing another woman. So that's when I was like, when I heard about polygamy, that's when I was like, okay, this makes sense. And when I observed the Black community, I feel like we are tribal people. Like, I feel like we don't want to compete with each other. I feel like it's natural for us to try to build together. And a lot of the, like I said in my video, after the Black community heals, I think we can implement polygamy, because I feel like a lot of the competition and being pinned against each other was put on us from the society. And I think that love is unconditional, and we can have love for multiple romantic partners.
Got you. How many relationships have you been in?
I've been in 3. Okay, I'm not gonna count the first one because I was more like puppy love. 2 serious relationships.
Okay, and what was the outcome of those?
The outcome of those were the second serious relationship I was in, it ended because we were going to college and it was just more immature love. And the most recent relationship I was in, we ended up moving away from each other, and our values didn't really align with each other. Like, I feel like I couldn't grow in the relationship, and we were growing down different paths from each other.
And what races were those 2?
They were both Black.
Both Black. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they never cheated, right?
No.
Okay. So if they never cheated and it just ended because you guys grew apart, or whatever the case is, why don't you think that Black men can be faithful?
I think they can be faithful, but I think that they struggle with it because in my relationships, because I'm bisexual, so I'm not insecure, I'm not jealous. And with my partners, we would talk about women that we thought were beautiful and things like that. And I feel like if more women were to tell their men, like, I like women too, or I don't care if you talk about other women, more men would be vocal about their what's the word I'm looking for? I just feel like men really do have wandering eyes when it comes to women. And I just see a lot of them restraining themselves. And when I was open and open-minded in my relationships, I saw them change. And like, I saw my boyfriends be more comfortable to talk to me about things and open up about things, because I wasn't like, don't look at her, don't talk about her, I'm the only one, things like that.
Got you.
I have a question too.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, man.
Do you think this is a case by case thing, or do you think everyone should be polygamous, or do you think it's like some people will work for and some people it don't?
I think some people it works for and some people it doesn't, but I think it would work for the majority if the majority healed.
Because like, for one, my bad, like, for one, what if someone can't afford to be like polygamous? Like, what if he just broke and he can't afford to like financially maintain multiple people in a relationship?
I think that that's a really common misconception with polygamy, because that's the man being the head and the breadwinner is a very capitalistic mindset. When you go into the polygamous or the polyamory community and you actually talk to people, you'll hear people talking about building something together, not relying on one man to bring in everything, putting all their tools and resources together to build something. So as far as a man not being able to afford 2 women or multiple women, because polygamy isn't just a man with multiple wives, it can also be a woman with multiple husbands. But the way I know
that's gonna get tricky already. Like,
yeah, definitely,
like
definitely. Yeah, that I know that's a whole other. I feel like men having multiple wives and women having multiple husbands, that's 2 separate conversations. But when I look at polygamy, I'm not looking like I'm looking for a man who can afford multiple wives. No, I have something to bring to the table. We need to look for a sister wife that has something to bring to the table, and you need to have something to bring to the table so we can build together.
But that's not the norm though, right? As far as like, because there's been plenty of like instances where a woman might say, "Oh, I'm here, I want to be equal with you, and I'm gonna help I'm gonna bring things to the table. But a lot of women, you gotta find the right woman that's actually willing to do that, because there's a lot of women out here that want the man to provide majority in a relationship, and if you don't, they're gonna look at you like you're not man enough, or etc. So that mind state that you have, that you want to help and be on equal footing as far as bringing things to the table, a lot of women don't have that. So when you're dealing with multiple, sometimes it's even worse. And a lot of men is not going to deal with no having their wife have multiple husbands. Like, you got to be a secure man, and if you're alpha, most alphas, I don't know any alpha that's going to be okay with their women having multiple husbands. So conflict is going to come in there also.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And I do agree that a lot of women have that mindset. And that's why a lot of women are not polygamous. But if you go into the community, because it's not the majority. Majority of people are not polygamous. If you go into the community and you talk to these women, they're not looking for a husband to take care of them. They're looking for a community. They're literally looking for a tribe. And as far as men being uncomfortable with women having multiple husbands, I noticed that. And my personal opinion, I feel like it's more efficient to be in the other dynamic, especially in the Black community, and how masculinity is. But I do support others who pursue the polyamorous path. But yeah, that is something I noticed. A lot of men are only polygamous if we're talking about multiple wives, not men.
Last question before I throw it back to Chase. Have you been in a relationship as you're speaking of? Like, have you tried that dynamic already, or it's a theory at this moment and you haven't put it to the test?
So I haven't been in a situation where the label was put onto it, like, this is a polygamous relationship. How I'm dating now, I do let the guy know, like, I'm down with that. But in the past, it was more so the guys that I were with, they were comfortable with me flirting and talking to other women, but it wasn't like, this is ours, it's us three, So the dynamic, yes, but the full name, no, I wouldn't say so.
Marcy, have you had a threesome?
Huh?
Have you had a threesome?
No.
Okay. I have a couple questions here, right? Someone asked if you had any issues with your father growing up.
No, I was closer with my father than my mother.
Okay, but you guys didn't have any kind of issues, because people tend to sort of relate this kind of mentality that you have to, having issues with the father figure growing up.
Oh.
Mhm.
They would say daddy issues.
Right.
No, I don't have daddy issues. I don't. No.
So back to the threesome question, and I only ask that because that's truly one of the few things that can actually basically show you how it feels like to be in a poly, right? Where you have one man and he's basically handling two women,
Mm-hmm.
right? So right, that takes a lot of balance from the man. So if you've never experienced that, why do you think that this will be something that you're interested in doing?
As far as the threesomes being associated with polygamous relationships, a lot of people who are in polygamous relationships, they're just dating the man and the women aren't dating each other. And I feel like that's a big misconception. And then as far as the man balancing,
right,
I like balancing mentally or financially.
No, I'm just talking about physically.
Physically.
Yeah. That's
Making sure that
I haven't gotten to the money part yet.
Okay, so like making sure there's enough attention for each woman.
Yep.
I feel
they get jealous.
Men are already doing that, and a lot of people don't even know that their men are doing that. I don't think men have an issue juggling.
But
the
are they
attention.
successful doing it though?
Yes. Oh, well, if the
No,
girls
they
find
get
out,
sloppy.
no. I know so many guys who are very successful with keeping multiple girls happy at once behind their girlfriends' backs.
How long though? Like how long have that been going on? How long? What's the shelf life? Do you think that it's gonna last? Because someone can do it for a few weeks, maybe even a few months. I don't know if you young, so I don't know if you ever seen that movie How to Be a Player, but he was keeping that up
I
for a
did.
long time, and eventually he got caught up. So eventually, like if you juggling too much, the ball's gonna start to fall. So
But my thing is, in a polygamous relationship, it's not about juggling. It's not about being sneaky. You have to be secure to be in a polygamous relationship. You cannot be an insecure person. You can't be territorial. Like it's not like they're doing it behind each
but that's
other's
human
back.
nature though. That's
I
why I
disagree
say
with that. I disagree with that.
you don't think it's human nature for people to be territorial? Like there's certain people. So the people that's like people that's not territorial, or the people that's just like not a jealous person, or just calm. Those people are in the majority. It's way more people out there that's jealous than not. Like you ever go on Instagram and someone, been plenty of times where I just like a picture and the guy come in my DM like, yo, don't like my girl pictures or what or etc. And I see girls like I'll be out with a female or something, and she see someone looking over here, and why she keep looking over here or whatever. Like this happens all the time. So imagine in a relationship, and imagine in a relationship where you're trying to balance multiple people at one time. Like that's human nature for people to be territorial. Not
I'm
saying
gonna
everyone, but
I'm going to say it's not human nature and it's due to conditioning. And I think that it's a really strong example, the fact that there are so many men open to polygamy in comparison to women, because women are conditioned to be in competition with each other through society. I don't believe that it's our nature to be pinned against each other and be territorial when it comes to love. I believe that we are unconditional beings. And I believe that we can see the conditioning when it comes to Black women. Like, hell no, I'm territorial because Instagram, because of Hollywood, because of the beauty standards, we're literally pinned up against each other. We're competitive. It's
I think everyone
conditioning.
is though.
I don't think so. I think that it's because of the where we live, how we live in a competitive society, that
So
how we're programmed and conditioned, because it, before systems and social media and Hollywood and beauty standards, we lived like this as Black people. We lived
well,
as tribes.
It's hard to, I get what you're saying, but it's hard to compare it to that because we're here now. So it's like most of the
Right.
majority of the people that's here, we don't know what it's like to, like let's say you said you're 20. Your whole life social media been around. So you don't know nothing before that. Like I'm a 90s baby. So everything I know, like I don't know what it's like to use one of those freaking to use one of those shit. Cell phones been around. It was them big cell phones when I was little, but cell phones been around my whole life. So we don't know what it's like to live how our grandparents lived for us to even like condition ourselves for that. So this is what we've been conditioned to do, and it's gonna be hard to break out of that. But even I would say with you, why haven't you like had a threesome or pursued the poly relationship? Because you might in order, like it sounds good in theory, but what if you get in one of those relationships and it don't work out? So what's keeping you from actually jumping full force into one of those to test your theory out?
So, before I answer that question, I do want to say that it is possible to break out of our conditioning through reflection and through healing. Like, it's important to look at how we were before the system, because then we can look at ourselves and be like, why am I this way now? I used to be a very jealous person. I used to be very insecure. If you would have asked me 3 years ago, how do you feel about having another girl involved in your relationship, I would have been like, absolutely not. But after I worked on myself, I asked myself, why am I pitting myself up against other women? Why am I insecure? What's going on internally? And how has the system implemented this in me internally? That's when my mindset started to change. And why have I not been in a polygamous relationship? Well, I'm 20. I just got out of a relationship I was in for 2 years. and I'm dating now, I'm just looking for right now a good quality man that I can be in something healthy with, and then from there, hopefully, we can progress later down the line into adding somebody else in. And the reason why I'm confident that I would be perfectly fine in that dynamic is because of how I act in my relationships. Like, I'm open to talking to them about other girls. I'm not
But
right,
talking and doing is two different things, though. Like
right.
when it's easy to talk about something and say what you're gonna do, but once you're in that position, your views might change and the circumstances might change. So it's more, you got to do more than just talk about it. And plus, it's like if you want that type of relationship, you being with one person for years and then down the line bringing someone in, you don't think that's gonna like change the dynamic of which I was used to for all of these years?
Of course, it's going to change the dynamic. And I know that action is different than talking about it. But if you compare my actions to a woman who is completely not polygamous, like if a man brought up a past sexual experience in front of a woman who is against that stuff, her reaction is going to be completely different than mine. I don't have that jealousy. I don't have that inside of me. So I don't know where it would come from. If it was in me when we had those conversations, I would be triggered. I'd be like, absolutely not. Don't talk to me about another woman. Don't look at another woman. Absolutely not. But I'm comfortable with it. I'm perfectly comfortable with it. And then I agree that it's going to change the dynamic. And that's actually something that I would look forward to. And the reason why I say later
Beast
down the
mode.
line, the reason why I say later down the line, why I would have to be dating somebody or be in a relationship with somebody for years is because before we bring another person in, I want to make sure that we're stable, we're compatible, we're good, so that we can add on to what we have going on. And I would look forward to that dynamic, because the dynamic changing, because one of the biggest reasons why I looked into polygamy is because to have another woman who can understand, for example, when I have kids, when I'm pregnant, to have another woman involved, I would have somebody to talk to, somebody who could help me, somebody who could understand where I'm coming from, somebody who could comfort me in a way that my man may not be able to.
I noticed you said one thing. You said other women that's not like polygamous like me. Technically, right now you're not, because you haven't been in a relationship like that. You haven't did a threesome. You haven't did any of the things that would make you right now. And it's just like you're aspiring to be. So right now you're not. And I remember earlier you said, so you just said just now you will want someone that can understand you and be able to comfort you like your man couldn't. Obviously you're talking about a female, but earlier you said um he would be like a lot of people in those relationships. He's dating both of them, but they're not dating each other as far as the
Mm-hmm.
female. So, but that's why I
Yes,
said
because
everything is case by case because
exactly. There's different polygamous dynamics. There's different polygamous relationships. It's not one box like monogamy is. And what did you say? You can identify as polygamous or monogamous without being in a relationship. People do it all the time. When you're single, if you want to be
yeah,
with
but once
multiple
you jump
people
in
in
a
one relationship.
relationship, you can. But once you do jump in a relationship and you're not practicing what you believe in, then are you? But I'm gonna throw it to Chiggs in case he got any questions because it's his platform. So
Marcy, Marcy,
Yeah.
do you think that this is just one of your fantasies?
No, I think that I honestly want to be in a relationship with multiple people.
Have you been in love before?
Huh?
Have you been in love?
Have I been in love? Yeah.
Okay. What's your education level?
I'm a college student. I'm a junior, and I'm in cosmetology school as well.
Okay. Um, if your daughter came to you and told you that she wanted to be in a poly,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say she was 19 years old, what
Mm-hmm.
would you say to her?
I would say, okay, like find somebody healthy. But my thing is like, I would teach her the same. I would teach her to find the same traits, and I would teach her to go about a relationship the same way as I would tell her if she wanted to be monogamous, if she wanted one person.
Okay. So let's talk about the financial part, right? How much money do you think that a man needs to make in order to be able to essentially take care of two women, if at all?
A lot. I would say to take care of two women, they would need to make, I would say, around 200,000, 300,000 a year.
Okay.
Probably depends on the state.
Yeah, that too.
Are you aware of how many how many men actually make that amount?
No, but I'm sure it's a small percentage.
Yeah,
Very small.
it's very something around 10 to 15%.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the word, like, because I think like as far as 200, she said 200,000, but like it might be even lower than that. Like,
but how many men now in Black households are actually taking care of everything without the woman putting in? I don't think I don't think that happens frequently. I think it could be 40, 60, something like that, but I don't know.
oh no, definitely not 40, 60. Like, that, I mean, it's case by case, but it's definitely not for, especially, and we got to break this down into age brackets too, because the younger relationships of people that's like in their 20s and 30s would be different than someone that's in their 50s and 60s, because they still have those values from when a man was the primary, like he took care of everything. So our grandfathers is probably still taking care of everything, but in the younger households, we got like, just from seeing what I see, like women views on social media, women, I see them on Twitter all the time talking about, oh, I wish a guy would, talking about me paying half of the rent, or me paying, like, it's crazy. Like, you got women out here talking about there's guys in my DM right now, pick a bill before we even in a relationship. So imagine when they get in a relationship, you think they're gonna want to pay rent and stuff like that?
I think we're talking about two different types of people. Like, you guys have
Of course.
I think you guys have to speak to more people in the polygamous community. Like, these women who we're seeing on social media, I see it all the time, what you're talking about. They're not looking for a community. They're not looking for they're not looking for empire. They're looking for something that matches that they're constantly seeing on social media. They're conditioned. They're part of the problem.
All right, so I'll say, I'm not saying that type of relationship can't work. I'm just I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Like, I'm sure for some people it is working right now, but where are these people that you're saying that that's in that community that we need to talk to, because they're not out in the open? Like, you're one of the people that's out in the open expressing your views on it, but a lot of people hide it. They're not going to come out and talk about it because they don't want the backlash or whatever. So there's no place I can really go to really talk to these people unless they start stepping up. No, I'm saying unless they start stepping up and making their views out loud like you're doing.
I met a lot of polygamous people who are outspoken on the app Clubhouse. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's just like a talking chat room app.
I know what it is. I used to be
on. I met a lot of polygamous people on there when I wasn't even looking. And it's mostly through social media. They're out here, they're talking. Their video may not go viral like mine, but it's happening, and they're out there. They're open-minded. Most all the ones that I've met are very open-minded, very free, willing to talk. And when I was in the Clubhouse room, I was actually shocked by how many people were. We didn't get anybody coming in to debate us on monogamy, and that's what was shocking to me. Like, there's so many people out there that are down with it, that are living it, and that are willing to talk about it out in the open.
So what about, okay, you got the people, even the people that's on Clubhouse and the people that's all talking about it on Instagram, it's still, there's 7 billion people in this world. and it's like they're still the minority. Like, what about people like out in person in real life? Like, do you guys have like meetups or where you see these people like outside of social media?
I've only met 2 people in real life who are polygamous, and they were both women. So, oh, actually 3. I talked to one guy, the guy that I'm talking to now. Of course, he's open to it, but I met 2 women in person who were.
Where do you live? What state?
I live in Florida.
Florida? Okay. Gotcha. All right. So I know earlier you mentioned certain roles that women should do for the man. Can you give me 2 to 3 roles that you think women should do in like households?
In households, I think women should. I don't know. I'm not really into
It's gonna be tough. Okay, so that's the first.
I think, huh? What'd you say?
No, go ahead. Continue. Then I'll let you finish.
I think my answer to that question is I feel like women are more attracted to nurturing the household, but that's just me. Like, I know plenty of women who would rather be in the more masculine gender norm. Like, I'm not gonna say I feel like women should do this, and this. Me as a woman, I feel like I should be nurturing the children, taking care of the house. I feel like I should do the typical woman things, but I'm not gonna put that on other women.
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? Because earlier when I was talking about a guy being able to maintain this financially, you said the women is going to, or they should bring like things to the table financially. So how can they do that if you want to be home like in a nurturing role? And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that let's say you are maintaining the house and the children, where's this money gonna come from for you to help out with the bills or to help him financially maintain multiple women? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I would like I would like to be at home more than I'm at work, but I also want to have my own business. I also want to have my own income. I also want to build the household. But I feel like it can be done. Like, I feel like I can own a business and I can also have time to be nurturing at home and play that role.
And you know that's woman privilege, right? Because guys don't have that privilege to say, either or, I want to own a business, but then I also want to be home more than I'm at work. And no, guys have to go out and get it. Like, you have to, guys is like, it's not unconditional when it comes from women to guys. It's like, if you're not providing financially, unless they're just like a fucking billionaire and they have like their trust fund baby, then that's different. But as far as like, coming up, getting out the mud, if a guy is not providing, ain't no women gonna stick around. So even you having that option, like, you can't have that option to either or work and take care of the house if your guy isn't bringing in enough to sustain that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you're woman if you just like women and you don't like guys. But we're talking about men and women here, so.
Yeah.
Marcy, how do you keep a man happy?
How do I keep a man happy? Creating like a friendship bond with him. I feel like being more of a. I feel like men like women who can cook, who are. I feel like men's standards are so high. But me personally, I keep a man happy by creating a mental connection with them, creating a friendship, doing fun things with them, keeping a spark. Yeah.
Okay, so that's essentially the qualities that you're gonna bring to a relationship, right? So now, do you think that that's what a man truly wants, or is that what you think that a man wants?
I think that it's different for every man. Honestly.
Why is that?
Because I feel like there's going to be men who like what I bring to the table, and there's going to be men who want something completely different.
Okay. Now, hold on, Chris.
Now go ahead.
Now, do you think that a man can cheat in a poly?
Huh?
Can a man cheat if he's in a poly?
Through lying. Like if they're like, I'm not seeing anybody else, like, but I don't feel like men feel the need to cheat in a poly because they're very communicative. They're going to tell you, I'm ready to date another woman. Are you guys down? Yes or no? I do think that. I feel like the lying comes from being told that polygamy is wrong and that you should only be monogamous. That's where I feel like the lying comes from and the cheating comes from.
Gotcha. But if a man wants, let's say he wants to add maybe 3 or 4 more partners, poly, is that cheating or is that allowed?
If the women do not want that, then I think that that's cheating.
Why is that?
Because it's just like a regular relationship. You should be honest. You shouldn't be doing things behind each other's backs.
Okay, gotcha. My guy Fax Color Man says, ask her if she needs to be in her man's decision when he chooses the other girl.
Yes.
Why do you feel that way?
If we're gonna be in a dynamic together, I have to be compatible with the girl too. You can't bring somebody in that I'm incompatible with, and now it's a hot mess.
But what if he's out somewhere and he sees a girl that's good looking and he knows that he has this green light of I can bring on, any partner that I see fit, right? Mm-hmm. Why can't it be solely based on his decision?
Why can't it be?
Yeah.
Because it's not just about him. You're bringing somebody into our relationship. It's not just your relationship.
But I thought you guys were there to essentially cater to the man.
Hold on. I didn't say that. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I feel like both people should be sexually catering to each other. But as far as me being incompatible with somebody that he brings in, there are polygamous or polyamory relationships where they can date outside and it's not a collective dynamic. They can have this separate person that's separate from them. I spoke to a lot of people like that too. But if you're in a dynamic and it's set that this is us, it's not you go date out here and I go date out here and we're still together, because there are polyamory people who are like that, then it would be cheating if you're in agreement to be in a collective connection and you're going outside and bringing people that may not be compatible with who you're trying to bring into the collective.
Okay, got you. I had a couple more questions here for you. Do you have an OnlyFans?
No. No.
Why not?
Because no, like I value my body.
Okay, so what if the guy that you're dating wants you guys to be on OnlyFans? What would you say?
Then we are not made for each other. It's not gonna work out.
So you're essentially not catering to the man, though.
When did I say that a relationship's all about catering to the man?
All right, so wait.
What about us, the women?
All the bills, right? And he just wants you guys for sexual needs, right? Is that okay with you?
No, absolutely not. When I think of my dream, my fantasy polygamous relationship, I would like all of us to be established within ourselves, not having to rely on other people. You need to have a skill set. You need to have something under you. You need to be able to support yourself. If this man gets up and leave, do you have skill sets?
So what's your skill set?
To get a job? Huh?
What's your skill set?
I'm in cosmetology school right now.
Okay, but besides that, as far
Mhm.
He's
as right now, what do you do?
Right now, I own a spiritual shop business. Like I said, I'm in school. I'm a college student and I'm in cosmetology school. So if a man was to up and leave me, I want to have my own business. I want to open my own nail salons. I want to open my own beauty salons. And I want to find a man who who doesn't want me to be at home and be nothing without him. And then I want to find another woman who got that same mindset, who has those skills, who has their own things going for them as well. I don't want to be in a situation where it's me and another woman at home relying on a man for everything.
And mind you, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at these comments. I actually got the comments up, and some of these dudes, they wilding. So
I
I'm
didn't
not
even
laughing at
notice
you.
you laughing.
Marcy, my guy Mar asked, right? He said, how would you handle a breakup if only 2 of the 3 want to break up?
If only 2 of the 3 want to break up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So let's say you and your man, the other girl's not working out, and your man come to you and want to talk to you about it, like, yo, I think we might need to find something else. She not working out. What would you say there?
I'll be like, if I have a relationship and a bond with the girl, which I would like to have, that's gonna be messy. But
Yeah. All right. So what if they want to kick you out?
Handle that,
What
though.
if they want to kick you out? Like, what if they come to you and want to kick
if
you
they
out?
want to kick me out, peace out. Like,
So basically, if let's say you have a relationship with the girl in a bond, and the guy don't want to be with her no more, whose side are you choose? Because you got to choose one of their sides. So it's like, whose
I
side are you
gotta
choosing?
choose one of their sides.
Because
Yeah.
if he don't want to be with her,
How'd you
he's not
handle
gonna stay. He's not gonna be like,
If
oh
he
well, you
if he
gotta.
doesn't want to be with her, obviously we're gonna have to break apart. But if I have a bond with that girl, and I would like to still be a part of her life.
But would that
So
not be cheating?
step away from the
No, why
man?
would that? Huh? No, I wouldn't step away from the man, and we would have that conversation. Like, I have a bond with her, just like you do. You're all set with her, okay? She's not a part of our collective, but I still want to be a part of her life.
So if your man came to you, like let's say you're not in a party, let's say your man come to you and say, I still have a bond with my ex. I want to be in my ex's life. Would you be cool with that? Because that's his ex at this point. You think he's gonna be okay with that? And
Do
you
I
can do
think
what you want. I'm
he'd be
not
okay
saying.
with that? Yeah. I think the man would be okay with that.
But I don't know, because if he was okay with that, then why would he want her gone in the first place? You think he
Exactly.
would want his current girl still dealing with his ex who he wasn't getting along with?
But I feel like it would depend on how the situation went down. Like, if he just doesn't have chemistry with her, then bye. But if there was a whole blow up, drama, chaos, then my reaction would obviously have to be different.
And I want to say for the record, I would be in a poly relationship. I mean, I'm a guy, so of course, but I'm just trying to see where your head is at, because it seemed like you got the right idea, but you don't have it all together of how. Because like for one, it's like, are you submissive in a relationship? Like,
Yes, I am. Yeah.
well, I think that's a contradiction, just because you already said like you want it to be equal, and you said as many times chicks ask you like, are you gonna cater to him, or what if he want this and what if he want that, and you said no.
No.
How can you not? I can be submissive and not want to rely on and not be codependent.
No, I'm not talking about financially. Like,
Like, I am usually submissive in a relationship, but I still have my own life going on while in the relationship.
yeah, you can have being submissive is not about not having your own life. Like, you ain't
But
got
you said
to,
it was a contradiction. How is that a contradiction?
because there's certain stuff he said. Like, for example, like, who is this? I'm sorry, these comments is crazy. So
Yeah, the
you
chat is
said
right, man.
You said what? Tricks?
No, I'm just saying, right? If you claim that you are submissive,
Mm-hmm.
you have to commit to it fully, right? You can't just pick and choose on what you want to submit to, right? So with what I said earlier, with if the man wants to add another female into the group, if you're truly a submissive person, you're gonna most likely oblige to that.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like you can be submissive and not be a weak person. Like that's what it sounds like you guys are trying
But
to say.
submissive is not about being weak, though.
But what you guys are saying is because you're submissive, what he says goes, and that's that. No, you can you can have a submissive dynamic where an alpha is leading, things like that. You could still have a voice. You could still be communicative. Like
So
then
what
maybe by you guys' definition, I'm not submissive. Maybe by you guys' definition, I would be a mix of both or dominant. But by my definition, I'm submissive.
But it's not about your definition because think about it. First of all, you're 20, so it's like these. I'm going by what for decades submissive was like the definition of what the word see it as, not of what I see it as or me bending the definition to fit my narrative or whatever. Like what you're saying is not like co-dominance or none of that is not being submissive. It's not. It's like you're trying to bend it to fit. You said I could be submissive on some things, but I can also be like, we can be like co-dominant on certain things and I can have my voice. And it's like you're trying to flip it to where it's like there's some things where it can be a group decision, like as if you're on equal footing.
Okay, so there's a third option. It's submissive, dominant, or equal. Is that what you're saying? Either one person's dominant and they make all the decisions. The other person has to be submissive and take all the decisions. Is there a middle? Because maybe I'm that. Because I can be submissive and dynamic on a daily basis. I'm not calling the shots. I'm not this, and this, and still be able to have a conversation with my man and have my voice heard and have my own opinion within. A dominant man who is not toxic will be able to hear me out.
Who's questioning me? Is that your burner? I'm sorry, like.
and on the topic of me being 20, just because I'm 20 doesn't mean that I don't have a complete understanding of everything. I'm very intelligent. I'm very knowledgeable. I'm wise beyond my years. And before I say something, I make sure that I have a backing for it, because I'm just seeing the comments down here. She's a baby. She doesn't know. I know a lot more than 50-year-olds.
No, don't even look at the comments. You know, they just
that will. The comments will get you tricked up. That's why I'm over here laughing.
I know. I be on TikTok.
All right. So, chat, do you guys have any questions for her? This is your time to shine. I'm gonna take probably 5 questions from you guys, and then we'll probably get out of here because the Sons of Bucks are playing tonight. Let me see. Adrian says, so if a man speaks to you in an aggressive way, is he toxic?
If a man speaks to me in an aggressive way once, I'm not going to call his character toxic. If a man is constantly aggressive, I'm calling you toxic. Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't think speaking aggressive is toxic. Like, for one, like I'm from Jersey, and I also spend like a lot of time coming up in New York, and it's like us on the east. I guess I can say for like Philly people too. Like we're naturally aggressive. It ain't like aggressive to where it's like we want to hit a woman aggressive, but it's just the way we speak and the way we carry ourselves. So I wouldn't say that. I would say your actions make you toxic, not how.
But you can tell the difference between somebody who's aggressive by their accent or where they come from and those gestures, and a man that's being aggressive to be aggressive to intimidate you. I think that's what I was saying. Yeah,
that's why I
understand that completely. I don't find you aggressive. I can tell when somebody's being themselves and when somebody's literally trying to intimidate me with their aggression.
All right, more questions, Chicks?
Marcy, the chat wants to know, what's your ideal type of guy?
My ideal type of guy, I want somebody open-minded, somebody intelligent. I want somebody with goals and a lot of willpower, a lot of ambition, somebody who can inspire me and bring out the best in me. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Does it have to be like a certain race? Does it have to be a
Oh,
certain
yes. I only like black guys. I only like black guys and
nice Kellerman is perfect.
yeah.
Kellerman funny.
The chat wants to know, yo, chat is wilding. I don't know if I want to ask this question. It's a little bit crazy.
What are you talking about, the virginity question?
Nah, the chat, yeah, the chat. The chat wants to know how many bodies do you have? Yeah, you guys.
I have 6 bodies.
6 bodies, chat.
Woo.
Somebody said multiply that by 3 if she's a girl.
But no double homicides.
Chad, do you guys have any other questions? Oh, what's your IG? Because there's a lot of guys in here that's been asking. What's your IG?
Marcy Pinky on mostly everything.
Pinky. Was you inspired by the Pinky?
No, I just always liked pink.
God.
Question me. What's your question, man? Somebody said 6 bodies in 2021 is hilarious. They don't believe you. I don't know why.
Oh, they're saying that that's too low of a number? Okay.
Yeah.
You listen to J. Cole?
No.
we said he said she only got about 4 or 5 bodies, so you got to multiply by 3. Is that what he said? Something like that.
Oh my gosh.
That's what he
said. He said, does she expect to have a business and have the man pay all the bills at the same time?
No, I do not expect that. I don't.
Strive Fresh said, are you the only one in your family like you?
Probably. I haven't talked to my family members about it, but I'm willing to say yes. I probably am.
Okay.
You should. Right,
I'm taking one more question, chat. One more question. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, while he's looking for that question, since you do have a YouTube channel, right? You should get some of these, some of the other people that think like you said, you be talking to them online. You should get them and you should do your own live and y'all talk about it. I'll be interested in hearing like that dynamic from multiple of y'all talking about these views. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, or I just want to see, like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, wait,
Yeah.
Marcy.
Yes.
Would you be down to come back on here again if I wanted to set you up with a couple of my viewers? Because I see a couple of them.
Viewers seem rude. I'm just kidding.
They're not rude. Nah. They're not rude. They're just heavily opinionated, But if I set you up with, let's say, 3 to 4 of them, right? And we get on here, kind of like an e-date, would you be down to at least give one of them a shot? Because I see a couple of them here.
A shot?
They seem like,
I'm
good
dead.
gentlemen. A couple of them are
like
rich.
Dating?
Yeah.
I have, sure.
Right,
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta look out for them. All right, go ahead and plug your socials and your YouTube channel and the notes that you want to plug.
Do I just say it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna find you.
I have 2 YouTube channels, but my main one is Spiritual Tea. I have Marcy Pinky on my other YouTube channel, on Instagram, on TikTok. TikTok is where I mostly talk about stuff like this. Yeah, that's it.
All right, awesome. Marcy, thank you very much for coming on. This was great. I'm glad that we got a chance to have this chat. I think this is very important because I know there's a lot of guys out there that struggle with this topic and having this conversation in their relationship. So I think that this kind of sort of helps to break down some of the barriers, that people have around the poly world. All right.
Yes.
One
Thank
last
you.
thing, Tig.
Go ahead, bro.
Before you, I don't know when y'all plan on doing it or how soon, but before you come back, please have a threesome and yeah, we gonna
Oh my gosh.
Wait. Is that in the future for you?
A threesome? I'm not
Yeah, because that's an experience that a lot of people in the chat felt like you were sort of lacking, right? They said, how can she speak on this when she hasn't even done at least this?
Because not all polys have threesome. But okay, I mean, I don't think I'll have a threesome before I come on here, but
I mean, you ain't got to. You ain't got to do nothing to like please me. I'm just saying. I feel like that would broaden that would get you closer to your experience.
How?
That look like New Jersey tour. All right. Thank you guys for stopping by. Marcy, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Enjoy your night, all right?
You too.
Yo, stay funny as hell.